hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, everyone. I went to the post stream, not the act. I'm not centered. Hi. Okay. Shannon's very
live now?
today. Yeah, we're live. We've been live since you started yelling at me. Sorry, we just had to deal with Sean being the community manager for a minute of Paradise Productions. You say that, but you never remember it's your job. So, welcome back to Roll for Damage. Tonight we are playing in the Scales Above, where I take this lovely group. It's just getting to be a smaller group. Shelby just got called away for a little bit. She'll be back soon. So Nia will be around this episode. But tonight you'll just have to put up with the Shannon and Sean hour time. Anyways, yeah, there they are. So before we get started, we're just going to do a really quick thank you to Sirenscape for the music. We had to use a different sort of overlay just for now because we are getting a new one set up for the smaller group. We only have a few episodes left at the end of the season because I'm getting married and have to, take Sarah away for a weekend or she will kill me if I just be like, hey, we got married on the Friday, but tomorrow morning we're gonna do some I gotta stream some D&D. That's gonna be the shortest marriage on record. So, anyways, let's introduce you two. Sean, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Sean O'Donovan. I think I have gotten the part of Oryx Solaris after my excellent audition last week.
You're on the short list.
Okay. Well, I'm almost there. So this is my second audition for the role of Oryx Solaris, and I'm also the creative director of Paradise Productions. And I am the DM over there for our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise, and I do some other stuff there, and so does Shannon. She'll get to that. And yeah, I'll be playing Oryx Solaris tonight, our timey-wimey boy who's made no mistakes ever in his life and is perfect.
Nice.
Is that it? You don't want to throw in that you also are the community manager and...
I am occasionally the well, how would I call it? I am occasionally the interim community manager. I think that's true. I am assistant to the community manager.
There you go.
And she is also the assistant to the creative director. So we're both each other's assistants.
Okay. And I am also Sean's manager.
Yes.
I call him.
So when I lock myself in the trailer and won't come out to play Oryx Solaris, she has to come and be like,
that.
Sean.
Because the amount of times I message Sean for a week and then have to message Shannon and be like, Shannon, can you just bug Sean? 30 seconds later, Sean's like, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, because he knows it's bad when it gets to that point.
If it gets to that point, yeah, the radar goes off.
Yeah.
My time blindness has to be defeated.
It's all right. I am 100% the same with the whole time blindness. It's like I'll get something done in an hour. It's usually 4 or 5 days before that thing gets done.
Oh yeah.
All right, Shannon. Tell us
and
about
that's
yourself.
why I'm the community manager, because I can keep on top of things, like tweeting usually. And
we haven't tweeted in a while.
I know, Sean. I'm growing a human. What do you want from me?
It makes it sound like it's in the garden, like you have to like water it and make sure you got the soil right.
I do have to
It's
water
manual labor.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I am community manager for Paradise Productions. I'm also our fiery rogue on Monday nights, who I love very much, and will throw a hissy fit if she dies again. What else? What else do I do? I play Nora on our Strixhaven show. Episode 2 is this Sunday. I actually haven't played yet, because the first time I just come down with COVID, so I had to watch. True. But I will play this week. and you should come watch because first episode was so much fun. We have an awesome cast, awesome story, led by that one.
Oh,
Yeah. I made sure to look before I pointed so I didn't look ridiculous.
you don't usually look.
I know, I don't. No, because you know what? You're usually to the side, and I can't tell. I always fuck up what side you're on. Anyway, I am also one half of the Shannon Power Hour, which is on Sunday nights.
Most powerful hour on the internet.
Yep, and we recap the previous week's session of Advantage in Paradise. Last week we had a doozy of a session because we hadn't done it for like a month and a half. But this week should be...
we talked about, what, 4 episepisodes?
I think it was 4 episodes, yeah. Lots of combat, so... But lots of shit happened. And then, when Sean streams on Thursday nights, I bug him in the chat and mod. So we do a lot of stuff. We also just started planning for our 2nd annual Jasper's Game Day in Paradise, which we are very excited for. It's not happening till July. The official Jasper's Game Day week is happening right now. Oh, crap! And we're hosting the after party on Monday.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so that's it. That's me. Oh, I'm Sloan. I'm our barbarian, who's very angry with our timey-wimey wizard boy.
You add one thing back into your intro, the community manager, and something else gets lost.
It's always
you have a capacity.
It's either Sloan is lost or community manager is lost.
And like the only reason you remember community manager is because we just like beat you with it for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
It's true. It's true.
Wow.
Let's see if you remember at the end of the episode.
There was a lot of sass in that. Yeah, I know. Okay.
Oh, hair to toss.
Yeah, I think I have more hair than you at this point. It's just all hidden under here.
Beanie Town.
Yeah, it just means that my morning ritual is a lot easier. It's just done. So anyways, hi, I'm Nova. I'm running this shit show. It's always a bit interesting, our intros. We are starting very late, so the session will probably only go for about 2 hours because I feel like the pregnant lady will kill me if I make her stay up to 1 o'clock in the morning. So, it's really hard to make you do something when you live literally on the other side of the world.
I will come through this computer. I will find a way.
What was that? Like the Ring? Just crawl out the computer.
Exactly.
Oh god.
Anyways, so Shannon's going to recap last session.
I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do it? Can me and Sean do it together?
What's going to happen is
Can it be a group assignment, please?
Listen. You're going to recap as best you can, and then Sean's going to grade you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
No. I don't. We only get grades on our channel.
And we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Come on. Right now you're failing. Let's go.
I never fail.
It's a good one for you to recap because it's not as much happened as usual.
Okay. Shannon sucks at recaps. Here we go. So we started the episode with being on a boat. We were on a boat. We're going fast on the boat. We had just I just started thinking of the Lonely Island song.
Mm-hmm.
We had just fought our way out of a blockade. Nia died, like, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Sloan was unconscious, and then her player remembered that she's got relentless rage and can bounce up to 1 hit point, so she was down, but then she wasn't. So, yeah. I don't know if there's anything that happened in between that, but the next thing I remember is me storming off to my room and being like, War Dad, we gotta chat, let's go. So we did not go well for me. Actually, really didn't go well. I just stormed into the bloody throne room and was like, listen, you, we need to get some souls back. Make it happen. And he was like, Well, it takes a lot of power. It's like, you're a fucking god. Figure it out. And then he got mad at me for being sassy and then shoved my soul into a hallway to deal with screeching, clawing souls, and then took over my body. Who then buddied up with Auric, and then they went and proceeded to completely decimate an entire island full of people to gain the 1,000 soul requirement that War Dad needed to get Nia's soul back. And Auric was basically a level 20 wizard for 10 minutes, and it was the best 10 minutes of his life. I still want to screen cap that shot of you when you realized you got to be a level 20 wizard. It was so cute. So they did that, and Sloane watched it all because War Dad opened a little window and was like, watch this! I don't want to! But I did anyway. And then we ended up getting Nia's soul back because we had the 1,000 souls and the power to do it. And then Sloane is covered head to toe in blood. So she goes to start washing it off, and she spits fire at Auric because she's really mad at him, and especially for what he just did. And I think that's where we ended.
Spits fire at Auric.
What was that face?
I just feel like there's a lot of context that was kept out of that for why Auric did the things he did, and a lot of context removed.
My recap.
As soon as you said she spits fire at Auric, I just imagined her like just dropping the greatest rap album of
diss track.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What did I miss?
Yeah. Well, you get to grade her.
Nuance of the conversations between War Daddy and Auric.
War Daddy and Auric are like best friends now, and that's not
true.
good.
You completely skipped where Auric defended you in that conversation. Unless Shannon wasn't paying attention to that part. When I was saying War Daddy, I said, War Daddy, you're being a dick. And humans don't like dicks. Humans don't like assholes, particularly the divine kind.
That's
sometimes.
not any better.
Oh, humans don't like jerks. Shannon. Pushing the dirty jokes along. I did not start it. You two did. I was just saying.
I think that's the first time Shannon's taken part in a dirty joke that I've been around.
And super red. I can't stop it. Move on.
So War Daddy said, gotta kill souls to use this power. And Auric said, I don't really want to do that. And he said, well, it's fine. They don't get destroyed. They're in the sword. And Auric was like, well, I could maybe free them then when I become a god. Because my plan is to still scoop this guy out of your sword. So we'll figure it out then. So in Auric's mind, this is not as bad of a deal as it was originally. It would have been if well, no. But yeah. And then it's going to be like, yeah. We'll free those souls. And that's kind of the crux of the argument at the end, because you were like, well, you can't save them their lives back. And I was like, well, it was a calculation. And at least I did it with calculations. And you were like, I didn't want to kill those other people either. And I was like, sure. I don't know. I'm off my rhythm. I'm not lying. I rewatched my recaps from the last 2 weeks the other night.
Did you?
Because they were ridiculous.
They always are.
But I'd say that's a solid B+.
You know how much I hate B pluses, Sean.
I mean, we could make it a B-.
At least, can we at least make it an A-? I did it. That should count for something.
So you want the participation?
It does. It counts for the B.
Yeah, I want the participation points.
That's
we'll
a
give
C.
you something better than that.
Participation is a C for me, because it's like you've done enough to pass, but you haven't done enough to actually do anything.
That's like, well,
Can we just play now, please?
no, I was going to completely continue to talk about
No.
about your grading, the grading system for recaps.
I'm just posting. Sorry, I just saw the pictures you sent in Scales Web Chat, and it's cute.
See,
and pretty.
I have the night giving you a D+.
I'm just posting a clip from the intro to our Discord. What?
A clip from
What?
the intro?
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, I just clipped something from our intro.
From this intro.
Oh no.
I didn't look.
I don't think I want to know.
It's a blind clip. I didn't even look very well at it. It was because I have no sound. I was just like, it's kind of in that area. So let's just hope for the best.
Also, you need to enable clipping for mods, BT dubs, because I can't.
Oh yeah, because we've been trying to clip things for the last like month.
Yep, and it doesn't work. But you can do that after. Let's play.
No,
I have rage now. I can play.
So we ended the session with Sloan saying, "Get the fuck out of here."
I
and
actually said, "I hate this version of you."
Well, but that's not the last thing you said though, because Auric said, "Feel how." Trust me, Shannon. I rewatched this vodka a lot of times because I really like the last few episodes. I've really enjoyed. You said, "I hate this version of you."
I do.
Auric said, "It's not that different from the version you like." You said, "Oh, it's very different," in that exact tone. And then Auric said, "Do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to do." And you said, "Get away from me." And he said, "As you wish."
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm trying to figure out where the clip settings are for mods because I can't see it.
You don't need to do that right now. I'm just telling you. Well, I was thinking about it.
So
We're just
Shannon,
let's just start.
the sun is rising.
I will forget, so you have to remind me in the break or something, all right?
Otherwise, We'll remind you.
Thank you. And that's why I was just having a quick look. I wasn't trying to like do the whole thing. It was just fun. So Shannon, the sun is rising.
Oh my goodness.
And Auric, I think you would have walked away, as you said, as you wish, you walked away. Where would you have gone? To go practice your magic? To ponder the shit that's just gone down? It's gonna say like the mysteries of the universe, but you know.
It does that anyway.
Yeah. Like half your mind is always on that.
That's true.
Why you seem so distracted at all times. So what would you be doing? Because I'm pretty sure Sloane's just still scrubbing, right? Just because it's going to take a while to get all that out your hair.
Oh god, yeah. I think Auric would, for now, I feel like he would go back to, unless it's already, there's nothing to be assisted with, he would go back to assisting the crew with fixing and mending the ship. Sort of just going right back into whatever is going on around him, as opposed to having too much. Like, I imagine he's doing that. He's casting mending on things, fixing rope, whatever needs fixing. He's calculating in his head. He's thinking about all of it. He's thinking about his plan, going over it in his head, and what trying to focus on what's coming in Jaakelheim, as opposed to what has happened before.
I'm going to implement a couple things here for you. And firstly, before I even get to that, I have to remind you, because you would have been right next to it as it happened. So Nia had True Resurrection cast on her, which means currently there is a very fancy metal arm laying on the floor of her room because...
I was going to say that last week.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got excited last week, but I didn't want to...
Yeah, I did as well,
Yeah.
and I just double-checked it before the game to make sure I was right. But she kind of stayed in bed and was just like, what the fuck, she's catatonic. So...
Oh, I'm grabbing that arm.
Yeah, I thought you might. She'll realize
100%.
very, very soon. Don't worry. I'm sure she's going to come and slap you around to give her the arm back. But For now, you have an arm.
Yeah, I'm taking that arm to the well. I can't do that until tomorrow. I was gonna take that arm to my mansion to study it, but my mansion is closed off to me until tomorrow. So instead, I will take it to a room in the ship, my room in the ship, and I do want to study it. I want to see what it's made out of, see what it, how it operates. You know, what I can learn about pain from looking at the arm as well. Whatever I can garner from it before Nia snaps out of her shock with Tamel and comes looking for it.
Okay. So, back to the first thing I was going to say. You know by now that you're on a track to divinity of some sort. You've had certain things happen. You are actively trying to find a way to gain that power, for better or worse. As you are casting Mending, you're going to notice that the ship is a little resistant to magic. And it's not quite... It's like it takes a bit more exertion to get it to do anything. You're not sure currently if this is because Yako's ship was warded some way, or if because of the elemental being drawn out kind of messed with how the how the physical properties of this ship interact with anything arcane. But as you're trying to exert yourself a little bit to get things working, because I'm sure you'd be frustrated that your magic's not working, would you just stop immediately or try to push through a little bit?
I think Oric would push through at least once or twice to test for more data, essentially, and then he wouldn't go like super persistent though. As soon as it kind of there's no new information that can be drawn from it, he would stop.
Okay. Make an arcane check for me. Arcana check.
Yes, sir.
Not arcane. There's no jinx or vi.
Nope. That is a 33.
Yep. So, you push once, nothing really happens. You kind of, it's like you feel vibrations in the air, like something's happening. There's the potential energy is building up, but nothing's happening. And then and you put a little bit more power into it, and as opposed to mending happening, you start seeing these almost invisible to everyone else. No one else seems to really notice it. Creatures sort of like stepping out of you and going about these manual tasks. The creatures looking very spider-like. As you have managed to conjure unseen servants that are doing these tasks for you, that are in the form of riders, and all the other sentient spider creatures from your followers.
My friends. Oric would kind of just think to himself about it. He would take his book out and start to demark these notes, or mark these notes. So basically it's like at first it's not working, and then it starts to slowly become this different version of the spell.
Yep.
Okay. Does it feel like the original Dunamantic aspect of it is just it was not working, and a divinity has replaced it through the arm?
Yeah, it does feel that what you were trying, you know, the mathematics of arcane sciences didn't work for you, the Time Wizard.
I see.
And your willpower and insistence on getting this to work,
I see,
formed something else instead that would work.
Fascinating. Very fascinating.
Yep. Becoming a god's gonna have some weird, wacky shit.
How little are these unseen servants?
They are correctly sized to what they should be.
Oh, they're just unseen servants. Okay, excellent. I love that.
There's about 3.
If he had a soul, he'd be a little afraid right now.
There's about 3 of them currently working on it, and they have about the same intelligence of the creatures who have never had to repair a ship before. So you, who can just kind of see the faint outlines, no one else can really see these things. Can just kind of see them like trying to put a piece of wood down, and people are just like watching as wood just like slides along the deck, and they're just getting a little bit creeped out, and you're just sitting there smiling. So they assume you're doing something, but they have no idea what it is. As a mallet just like through the air.
Excellent.
And then a series of nails from the many-handed Spider-Mans, so like all moving in unison, and the way spiders move, that like jerky motions.
Mm-hmm,
so it's kind of, you're probably loving it.
Orc is internally thinking like, one of the best benefits of not having a soul is that I am no longer terrified of these creatures.
The crew give you a lot of room to do this. And they slowly repair it a little haphazardly. It's not quite as neat as a mending spell, but there's no longer like holes in the deck where ballista bolts punch through.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Oric would, seeing this happen, he would persist a little bit further in another area to see if this sort of continues, or if it's something that, is going to be. He's basically testing the consistency of it. Is this something that will happen frequently or only occasionally?
It happens every time. You are consistently spawning, for lack of a better word, unseen servants on this boat as you try to mend.
I don't know why, but in my head, for some reason, like, there's no reason for me to think this or imagine it this way, but I'm imagining it, like, for some reason, like a musical. Like, all these spiders are like hammering in unison or to a beat with their many arms.
Please tell me they're tap dancing.
I can imagine that your bardic origins would have something like that. Maybe not the tap dancing, but there's definitely like a synchronicity to the hammer beats that is also creeping out the crew more, because
it's very creepy.
You hear it as a sort of music. Elves with their greater expanse of time can have something slower, but for everyone else, it's just a sharp beat every like one sound, 5-second pause, another, and it's very.
Ooh, it's like war drums.
Yeah, and it's because it's the sound of hammer and nail. It's not exactly pleasant.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sloan, you're watching this happen on the deck as you like clean like bone pieces out of your hair. Yep. Oh, look, a jawbone.
It's gross.
Tongue still attached.
Just imagine if I still had prestidigitation.
Gross.
And it wasn't working, and it turned into a bunch of spiders cleaning you off.
No. No. I don't like it.
Or just one big drider that's just cleaning you up and just slowly picking things out and being like, I'm imagining like talking to you and being like, so how was your week? Drider hairdresser.
I was literally just thinking that, yes. Yep.
I can now imagine every few months that Auric gets a Drider barber as well. Just he conjures a full barber shop inside his mansion. He just gets to sit there, chill, chat. All right. Yes, Sloan. Are you going to help the crew continue washing up? What are you doing in this scenario?
I will get myself to a state where I'm not covered head to toe in blood. I want to get my face as clean as possible, even though I know those tear stains are permanent, right?
They will stay there, yeah.
Yeah. So I will, I'll try and clean everything off my face and, do the best I can with my hair. Actually, since it's usually been up in like a half braid and kind of down, so I would have taken that out and like finger combed it to get the crap out of it, and then I think I would have put it up in a messy bun, and then I'd go back to helping the crew but staying away from Auric.
Okay. I have a couple of questions about Sloan here. Sure. When was the last time you think she actually did her hair, brushed her hair, anything like that?
Did we ever go to a spa or anything like that? So then it's been a fucking while.
Yeah, so at this point, it's just one large matted mess from all the fights, all the dirt, all the... I mean, shit, you were like the spider webs from season 2. It's been a while. So when you say you finger comb it, you probably have to take a long time. It's like just a single dread off the back of your head.
And you know what? That's fine. Because it'll give me something to do other than talk to people.
Yep. Secondly, are you cleaning your clothes, or is that just still thickly matted with blood?
Do we have change? Do we have changes clothes?
I imagine that somewhere you'd have a duffel bag of spare bear skins.
Okay. So I'll maybe I'll change first and then I'll work on my hair, and then however long that takes, when I'm done with that, then I'll help with the ship.
Okay, so right, I'm not going to get into the logistics of that. Cool. So you're helping with the ship. I just imagine Sloan not smart enough to be like, I wash first, then put on new clothes, and she's just like head to toe in blood and just puts on a dress, walks out.
No,
everyone's just like, oh cool, it's Carrie.
She's bathed before.
Yes.
Has she?
It may be infrequent.
The one time she fell into a river.
Vikings were very clean people.
Yeah, they were. All right, so
Some cleans up nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, cleans up.
Nice.
I've never seen. It would be very interesting to see Sloan get dressed
talk
up.
to Kelsey maybe. Sloan in a ball gown.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyways, you help the crew. You're probably staying very far away from all of Auric's shenanigans. Auric, as you sort of realize that your unseen servants are just able to do these jobs, I imagine you then retreat to go look at this prosthetic.
I think, given the circumstances of thing, I actually think that Auric would have done this first, and then would have gone into the room to collect the arm.
Okay.
Just to see if Nia's condition is in there, if she's still in there, or if Tamel brought her away. Shelby, we realized the true resurrection spell.
About collecting my arm? You're not taking my fucking arm. Hell no.
Well,
I'm gonna go look at it at the very least.
30 to 40 minutes at the minimum before they.
That's my sword fighting hand. You can't take that.
I'm not taking it off of you. I'm taking it because True
on the
Resurrection
floor.
would have regrown your arm and dropped that to the ground.
Yeah. And you were
So
too
what
out of it
actually
to
is
notice
happening-
for a while, because that's the thing we said, like, you were just so out of it start of last episode, end of last episode.
Well, and now she has feeling. She had feeling
Yep.
in her prosthetic too, so she probably wouldn't even notice a difference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
So Auric would be in that. I would come into that room and I would look to see her condition as I pick it up.
at this point, I'll say, because we're kind of, the time of it is flowing between this episode and the last episode, because she had a time where she had sat there and Auric had to talk, Tamil had to talk to her and get things sorted. So I'd say she's just kind of staring off, like almost mechanically eating food, but not actually paying attention. Hell, we could even say that you walked in the room last session and she didn't even fucking notice because she was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a while where you were like
she's
that.
just
Yeah.
sitting there with her head on Tamel's shoulder, just eating whatever he puts in her hand.
Auric would look to Tamel. I imagine like it's a very like he walks in very quietly and steps up and sort of just peers at her for a moment, and then bends down and slowly lifts the arm and is kind of like observing it in the light. You know, seeing if it's like reactive when he touches it.
would you do this in her line of sight?
I think Auric would not like, he wouldn't be like picking it up and putting it in her face, but I think he'd pick it up and maybe turn his back to them
All right,
and look
make
at it.
a sleight of hand check.
Got it. I am fine at these.
Can Mia make a perception check?
We're gonna go off your passive because you are out of it, not actively looking.
Well, fuck, that's non-existent.
Well, it's a good thing I rolled badly.
Oh wait, no, my passive is 13. So
And I don't have any chronal shifts left to fix this. That's a 5.
You do
I rolled a
have
2.
It is a new session, so you have hero points. You can spend 1 to reroll.
No, I'm not going to use that for this.
Okay, so you will sort of notice that there's a glint out of the corner of your eye near where you're eating.
this room's made of wood, right?
It's room,
The
yeah.
boat. The
Yeah.
boat is made of wood. There's no
Yes.
like shiny shit in here.
It's not
Okay,
marble.
yeah. I think I don't know, man. This used to be a magic boat. I don't know what's fucking left over.
Sure.
I think she would probably just glance over because it's a different
Mhm.
thing in her line of vision. That's not like the surrounding environment. I don't think it would be like a really like, oh god, that's my arm. But at least not yet. Kyle, I'll let you decide how far into her shock she is, because she was like this for a couple hours.
I'm going to decide how much is visible. Okay, so he's looking at it and kind of just, his back is to you, or its back is to you, and you can just see over the shoulder like the metal of the socket that would have connected, like, you know, to your bicep. So it's not a hand. You just see like it's like a metal tube that you see, and that's about it.
Exactly how I would be holding it too. That's how I describe
And
it. Yeah.
I think in the state she's in, she probably wouldn't do much. She might, I think, if she does recognize that it's the arm, just because that wasn't on her body for like I think 8 months now. She's not going for it immediately. She's probably making a note that that's weird because I feel my arm.
Tell you what,
Why is my arm over there?
make an
But-
intelligence check at disadvantage given your current state to be like, that's my arm.
Mm.
Oof, oof, oof. Okay, that's 3.
Okay. Surely that can't be your arm. You feel your arm. That's not your arm. And like, you're so sure of it, you don't even look to be like, hey, my arm. You just, like, no, it can't be. And then you just go back to eating. You just,
That's
it can't be your
valid.
arm.
I feel like she might revisit that later in her brain.
Yeah,
be
it's the
like,
kind of
"Wait,
thing
fuck,
like a day later or 4 hours later, you're like, that was my arm.
Don't melt down my arm, please.
I'm not going to melt your arm down. Yeah.
So,
just save something on it, please. Let me just take
Save
something
them.
from it.
I'll save the middle finger.
I just want a panel on the outside of it, man. That's it.
So you go back to your room, Oric, with the arm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
What are you trying to ascertain? What are you trying to do with this?
First thing, first step is to ascertain the material, and if I can, how it works, and then we would move on to magical properties, and then maybe after that, once I've discerned those things, however long that takes, I would move into taking it apart.
Okay.
Carefully, Oric would take meticulous notes.
You're gonna see what I want in it, though. God damn it!
He just hits it with a hammer until it comes apart.
Yeah. Oric is gonna be like got little like tweezers, little things. He's gonna do whatever tools he can incorporate. He's going to slowly take it apart, and like I would like on like the floor, I would lay it out almost in that way where you pull something apart and it's all still like where it is according to the other pieces. So it almost just looks like it's been splayed open. But first, okay. I want to figure out other details about it.
Okay. So you pull it apart slowly. Make a... I want you to have like... I'm trying to think of the right tools, like artificer's tools to like take this apart correctly. And I imagine you don't have proficiency with any... Do you have proficiency with any tools before we start? All right, make just a flat intelligence check then.
Okay. 24. Rolled natural 19.
Of course. All right, so it comes apart slowly. Takes you a couple hours to get everything apart. Like you're a clever guy, so you for other people you're sure this would take like a week, but you got to set up. You've made like a grid on a piece of paper, and it's like part C1, C2, you know, to know where everything's meant to go. This is an alloy of metals that you're not quite sure about. Would you have done any sort of testing magically on this stuff?
Step one would be testing, you know, reactivity in the sense of at first, like to make sure, like the very first thing he does is like make sure the arm doesn't have a mind of its own and starts trying to strangle him when he's messing with it. Then he would start to test the material, take it apart. If he can't find out what type of material it is, then he would use careful, controlled application of magic to try to discern. Starting with a detect magic, a ritual detect magic to try to figure that out. If he detects any magic, he would then do a ritual identify.
Okay. So there's a bunch of interesting properties, and I'll go through them. You got a pen and paper? Good. You are the anti-Shannon.
No, I just realized that I lost with my arm being gone now, with me having a normal arm again, and I'm upset because I never got to show it off. Fuck.
We love you, Shannon.
I mean, Oric could potentially be fine with cutting your arm off and putting it back on.
No, don't put me through that trauma again.
Firstly,
okay,
this is conductive to power. So magic, and you did some rudimentary tests with just using a bit of static electricity, and it's almost a one-to-one conduction with no loss through it.
Wow.
But with it doesn't conduct heat as it does it. The power just flows through without causing any heat wear and tear. There's no expansion and contraction in the metal. There's no, nothing gets burnt, which is, very useful when you attach it to someone's arm.
That makes a lot of sense.
It also seems to resist divination spells. So
Don't like that.
make an Arcana check. This DC is ridiculous, so even if you roll very high, you might fail. I'm letting you know that so you're not like, what the fuck?
I can always take exhaustion. I would like to take a point of exhaustion to automatically succeed on that roll.
Okay.
Because that was not a terrible roll with the plus 15, but certainly not going to accomplish what I assume your DC was. It was a 24.
So it would not have hit
but I will use
DC, but you take a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, I'll use Convergent Future.
Okay. There is a small rune on it, which is drawing ambient power. That is not what is, because you can see there's other markings on it, and there's, despite the runes and should have magic within them, nothing. So you can assume that's the no divination, thank you, goodbye. But this other one is very small, and it's just this tiny pinprick of power in it. And it's more or less like you found a transponder, something just sending out a signal at all times.
That makes a lot of sense, considering what's been going on. Interesting.
Not sure I'm following your line of thought, but sure.
This arm has the end, which is just like where the stump would go. You find has a set of like claws that attach to whatever it's going onto. And as you are sort of looking at them and touching them, as you touch them, you see is like very, very like almost like monofilament wires come out and then withdraw. So,
ooh, yeah.
You have found that this will like find its way into nerve fibers, and no matter where you like, you could just put this on the side of your head, and it should theoretically work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Provided that you get enough in the cup.
Yeah, because
it is a made for an arm, but you know, you could vat grow a chunk of flesh off the side and slot it on if you wanted to.
I'm not gonna do that, but I consider it.
Last
third arm for Auric.
Last thing.
Whoever made that for me, thank you.
To add to
Get
this,
another one. I could become more like a spider god.
Is there in the palm, as you've removed a lot of the plating around it, you'll notice that there is a small blue gem that has a lot of elvish, dwarvish, primordial script all over it.
I know 2 out of 3 of those.
And you're pretty sure. Do you know that the 5 made this for Nia? Someone in the 5?
I believe it was Auric who straight up. No, that was Galamea. I think you could probably work out that it looks like Payne's arm, because that's
I'd say the only thing I've seen
it
besides
like
this is Payne's arm or Payne's body.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you make a check. You spent some time around this.
Also, she had it after we knew she.
And also, like, if he if he took it apart, there's a panel on it that says, "Welcome, little sister, love Payne," because he showed that to me when he made it.
Yeah. So.
Or just tosses it in the trash.
No.
Just out the window, off the boat.
Just kidding.
That's the one thing I want from it. Don't do that to me.
Don't worry. Auric would set it aside and mark it as sentimental item C.
you are pretty sure that because apart, nothing's happening as you test the different alloys and stuff, but you're pretty sure this is meant to focus any power running through the arm, given that Nia was somewhat adept at arcane magic herself, even if it's not to your standard. This might have been made for that, whether it's a oh my god, I've forgotten the word that wizards item, no components.
Arcane
please
focus.
Help. Thank you. Whether it's an arcane focus or it's a thing used to
Amplify?
Yes, amplify magics. You're not sure, and you're not sure you can properly test it without the machine being together and on something, because it's
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm getting that fucking blue gem. One way or another. Okay. All right. So
Give me back my fucking arm.
Yeah, I'll give it back to you. Without the gem. Though I have to figure out how it works with the gem
Fight
first.
you. I'll fight you,
Well,
Orc. And
I almost just said you only have one arm, and I was like, no, you got your arm back.
Also, Nia's ambidextrous. That's been canon.
Ooh,
She's left-handed. That's a common thing with lefties.
interesting.
So the last thing is you don't have a full like chemistry set up here to check what materials this is made out of, but you're getting a feeling that it's got probably some type of really high quality steel along with mithril and gold in different parts to aid conductivity and lightness. And the core will seems to have it being a darker, almost black metal, maybe some sort of adamantine like bones to it, which does bump up the weight of it significantly, but also makes it very, very tough, where the outer panels can be broken, but the arm itself should remain intact.
Okay.
I could have fair tested that one. God damn. I lost my arm in that trial.
Interesting. Okay. Since it's late, and this would have probably taken most of the night for Auric, I'll have taken it apart on like some kind of like sheet or blanket or something that I can easily.
I'd like to ask a question, Professor.
Yes.
Yes,
my boy.
Would your good buddy Gladstone be there helping you take this apart and catalog things?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because his hands can turn into little hands.
So when he remember, it was gross. Like last time I described it, you were like, "Ugh," but now you're like, "Oh, it's so cute." Now he's like, The wings turn into like fleshy, gross,
pincers,
spindly
like
hands.
tweezers. He is my artificer toolkit.
Yeah. So, when he comes to me, he's like, "Oh, what do you want?" And he just sort of like looks at it like and starts picking up pieces. Like looks at what you've got started and just like doesn't say it, just picks up pieces with his beak and he just starts helping. This is very fascinating to him. And I imagine that you have just a very easy back and forward of like, you know, almost lifelong research assistance of just you'll say something, he will either agree or provide a counterpoint, and then you write notes. Just back and forth, and that's the
and we discern all of this together. Excellent. And then I would carefully put things away, or honestly, I'd probably just leave it I'd leave it out, as I would be too tired at a certain point to continue, especially with the exhaustion point. So I would eventually put it aside in some, try to like put something over it so that it stays together. Because I don't have time tonight to put it back together.
Mm-hmm.
Even like potentially like having it on something and putting a cloth over it to move it to a desk or something. Put some, just to keep it all in one place. I don't want it to start rolling around on the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I think you'd have Glaston sort of help you out with that, and as it's winding down, did you take this from young Nia?
No, it was removed during a true resurrection.
But it's hers, and you took it, so you took it from young Nia.
I suppose.
Have you seen if she's okay?
She's not.
I know that you're horribly broken, but still, you should probably try to comfort the young thing.
I offered her some insights into her experience. As I've experienced him as well.
Not sure if that's what's helpful in this scenario, or you know what? Better if you don't get involved. You're weird.
Yeah. As are you.
Do I have your permission to cast spells?
What spells are you wishing to cast?
Whatever could comfort the. I mean, she had a true resurrection. Arm growing back is going to be painful. Something to maybe ease her night.
Well, you've done good work here tonight, so you have the rest of the evening and morning.
He looks out the window as the sun is coming up. He's like, So not long then. Thank you. So
we
generous.
have a long journey. We have a long journey ahead of us. I will need further help with this. I must rest now. You have until I awake. And each day after our work is done, until I awake again, or whatever needs to be done, we're on a long journey to Jaakelheim.
You don't sleep,
plenty of time.
Wake is not the right word, but I get what you're saying. You, You definitely do need a lot of help, and not just with this. And he just sort of like Al struts out the door.
If I recall you, though, you will return.
Head just turns all the way around, sort of shrugs with his wings. Keeps going.
Little feet are making little tap sounds.
Yeah.
That's like that is one of my favorite sounds, is birds walking.
Oh boy.
But
Oric would then settle down for a trance. Would lock the door.
Sloane. Before we get to Nia, because Nia might take some time depending on what she wants to do with this. It would have taken you some time to clean everything. Would you have gone to bed? Because I imagine you being tired.
I'm at 18 hit points. I'd like to sleep, please.
Okay.
Your long rest, I need to use hit die, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a monster, apparently.
Monster.
So, do you think you would be somewhat burdened with memories of what happened and where you were? Do you think you would have got a good night's sleep? You'd be up early or up through the night or what?
I think it would have taken me time to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it won't be a super restful night, but I think after, like tossing and turning for like an hour and a half, finally would have fallen asleep.
Do you think you'd get a full night's sleep or you'd be woken up intermittently?
Yeah, it wouldn't be restful. It would wake up every so often.
Alright, so at one point you kind of wake up, and you know when you first wake up and sometimes you're in that half sleep, half awake, you know, the type of thing where you swear you see someone standing at the end of your bed and you're like, what the fuck? And then, oh no, that was just a dream overlaid with real life. You wake up in your room, but it's like the walls are rib cage. And walking past the door is that big bear of a man. What do you want, Sloan?
Am I dreaming right now?
It's like blinking, you ask that, and Gladson's like, no. He just waves with a wing. He was walking past the door.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Sorry. Bad dream.
Is that called hypnagogia? Cool. Thank you, Bishop Blood, for knowing things. I'm gonna look that up.
I just did.
So, he sort of just waddles into the room, jumps and flaps a little bit to sit in the bed. Everything okay?
No. No, it's not.
He's, you know, Oryx, not really a hugger, but he just like gets his owl wings out, steps forward.
Oh, I give Gladstone a hug for sure.
The first bit of affection this bird has experienced.
I did not permit him to hug.
Too damn bad. I'm hugging the owl.
I shook his hand once.
Just because you don't hug doesn't mean he's not capable of it.
Yeah, after you gave him permission to see his son on his birthday, you shook his hand.
My family...
I definitely hug and like cry a little. You know, like when you I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but I do a lot. When I've had a long day and I get a hug, I just dissolve into tears. So that's what happens to Sloan.
Hi, Shannon. Hello.
Yeah.
Alone. Same boat.
Yeah, Sarah
right
does
next
that.
door.
So you don't know this, and it's a bit of a weird one. My family, we
have a family?
Yeah, yes. Doesn't everything?
Well, I suppose. But some families are chosen. Go on.
Right. We eat dreams and give nightmares, or can eat nightmares and give dreams, and you are struggling. And I was on my way to see Nia because, well, she's just fucked up right now. But you also seem to be, and if...
Quite fucked up, yes.
Want some help with that?
What kind of help?
A good night's rest? Good day's rest. And he sort of like looks out the window, and now the sun is like just over the horizon.
I think I would really like to sleep and try again tomorrow. Or later today, I guess.
And I know that usually when someone says it's creepy as fuck, but just let this happen. You have to willingly go along.
Okay. I
Cool.
mean,
He just like pecks you on the temple, and you just asleep.
Well.
She won't remember a thing. Hoo hoo hoo. Not because he's casting. He's going to get a little peek into your nightmare as well, because
Or it gets a little peek into my nightmare.
no, he's taking it back home for his family to eat.
Oh.
Dream eaters.
So he's taking your not your trauma, it's still there, but like a big part of that reliving the experience that fucks people up, not happening tonight. You will
nice.
remember having a lovely lunch on the day you first met Nia and Saros and Leaf.
Oh my
And
god, in
when-
the tavern when I benched
and
when I
then
benched
you
the
get
table.
Is this when they told us they were going to rob us?
Yep.
No, this is the
and
first time she ever tasted a creamy brulee.
Yes, and
I was gonna
yeah.
say.
And you tasted
first-
creamy
Oh, this
brulee.
is back at the place you got the bag.
yeah.
The bag. So I knew what the
Um,
bag.
But in this dream, every time anything starts to make you feel bad, that lady comes up, gives you a hug, and hands you a creamy brulee.
Oh. Just crying in her sleep.
You also get a modified memory that Gladstone never did this. Gladstone was never there. You didn't
Aw.
wake up and see him or a big bear man. You're not even sure Gladstone can talk. You just woke up, blinked a few times, went back to sleep, and had a nice dream.
Okay. Sean, what did you realize? Your face betrays you.
I still have that radioactive Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I still have a radioactive Rubik's
Yeah.
Cube.
Did I
Whatever.
just jog your memories of a lot of things from like the start of the first season? Yeah.
Yep.
So much shit happened in the first season, and then everything went off the rails.
We also had a bunch of potions that I don't think we ever used from season 1.
Yeah.
I definitely have. I have a potion of invulnerability, and
That could have
No,
come in
you used
handy.
that. You used that.
when?
You used that in the fight with the what's it called? The monk that beat the shit out of you.
That's
That killed
right.
me.
Yeah,
I
the,
did.
You used it then, yeah.
the immortal.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't fucking have it anymore. I want another one. Oh, I did because the the charge was there. Fine.
Also realized that Gladstone is like Nibbler from Futurama, just like blanket people's memories after talking, so they don't know they can talk.
Yeah. Scooty Puff Jr.
Honestly,
Scooty Puff Jr. sucks.
Chad has it right. This just reminds me a lot of Ori, honestly.
So, he goes wandering off to Nia's room where she is asleep from pure exhaustion. And he's like, Tamel's asleep as well. He's like, well, time to dive right in. And he kind of just steps into your head.
Guess I'm not having a very nice dream. Considering
No.
I just came home from the abyss.
You hear echoing, like, you feel like you're falling through like a chasm in the abyss, just past layers upon layers upon layers of just this. Can't even use the word hellscape because that gives the wrong idea of how fucking bad this place is. And you just hear echoing in the distance. Oh gods damn. And as you're falling, you just see this owl flying down towards you.
I imagine I don't know if I have too much control here, but my instincts in this dream would probably be to try and grab onto anything to stop my continuous falling. And then there's just an owl that I've seen Gladstone, right?
Yeah, you've seen
Warwick has
Gladstone.
an
You know who
owl,
Gladstone
right?
is.
Do I know this is Gladstone?
Yes.
Or do I know it's an owl that looks like Gladstone?
I'll let you know this is Gladstone. I just
Uh,
realised this music is way too upbeat, and I'm trying to change it. Keep going.
Well, I can't hear it anyway. Sirenscape didn't work. I'm not sure I would do much about the owl, considering again I am falling through the demonic hellscape of the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that technically doesn't end, I don't think.
No, it's the forever fucked up place.
Yeah, thanks God that made this.
No worries. So as you fall
Screaming.
and
I'm
fall
probably
and
screaming.
fall and scream and scream and scream, eventually you hit this rocky outcrop and just whack. You bounce. Your back now probably really hurts. And as you stand up, you sort of shake your head and you realize you're in this snowy sort of village, and everyone's getting ready and armored and running out the front, where you can see just a handful of people talking, and this girl steps to the front, holds out a hand, and
You're not making me relive this day.
the entire village around you becomes desiccated husks as this purple necromantic energy flows around them and drags their soul and life force out of their body. It flows into your arm and then into into the girl's arm, not your arm, no, into this girl's arm and onto a small crystal lantern on her hip, leaving just you alive.
Nia's screaming at the top of her lungs this entire scene to stop it. I don't want to do this. I didn't want to do this. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Just things I'm not screaming, at 11 o'clock at night in my apartment.
As you walk, I guess, towards this group of people, you look down and you see the faces. There's a girl, maybe 17 years old, a woman in her 40s to 50s. They look remarkably like Sloane.
I think she's gonna turn tail and run out of this village, run away from this group, run away from the people that look like Sloane. Whether she can, that's up to you, but that's what she'd be trying to do in that moment.
As you start to run, the landscape sort of like lifts up, becoming jagged and rocky. If you keep going, you start feeling the ground has cut through the soles of your shoes into your feet. To run in that direction is to be shredded. But behind you, you now hear the raspy sounds of a village of desiccated corpses with this just small purple glow in their mouth and eyes as they stand up, start moving towards you.
I honestly think she'd be in such a shock. She'd be taking steps back and then trip, fall back into this jagged rock. Probably really fucking hurts. Screaming.
Okay.
Trying to be like, this isn't real. This is a dream. This isn't real.
As you are
trying all the tricks in the books to wake yourself up, but it's not working.
As you're scrambling back, you just feel your hands shredded to the bone. You're just crawling away as this entire town of people that have transformed into a type of creature you've seen before? No, you weren't there.
What, are they turning into bone claws?
Nope.
Ghouls? Banshees?
Nope. You had the first two letters right in bone claws. but
Devils? I don't know.
no, it's okay. As you know what, I'm going to get you to make a check for me. Give me just a second as I just quickly do a Google.
Do a Google.
You're confused, guys. Do a Google.
Make
Don't go past the second page.
Make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh. That that's a 6. I rolled a 4.
On a failed save, the creature drops to 0 hit points unless it is
No. No, fuck you. You're putting me in Bodak Hill. Fuck you.
No, well, you put you in Bodak Hill. But
You're the
as
PM.
you drop to 0 hit points, a small owl lands next to you, and as you start to black out, you just see him in the weirdest sort of way, like lick his beak. He looks around. This is delectable. I think I'll make this easy.
Why is your
for you,
owl
though.
as creepy as you are?
Fuck you.
That was Shelby, not
Gladstone,
not Nia.
the Dream Eater.
And he pecks you on the head, and you're gonna have to you weren't talked into willingly doing this, so you're gonna have to make yourself several saves. The first of which will be, I believe, a wisdom saving throw.
Oh well, that's gonna go ridiculous. Actually, no, that I don't think I want to fucking pass this, but Nia doesn't know that. 14.
All right, give me just a moment as I go through all the frickin' spells, which I was meant to do before we started today, but I'm not
All
good
the
at my job.
spells?
Spells. The summon spells.
Summon spells.
I
I hope his DC is higher than 14.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
just double checking what you have to roll for each one. But there are so many spells that start with C. So the first one is, yep, cool. So excellent. He's you are sitting in a small hut with you are maybe 4 years old. Your younger brother is just a baby with your uncle holding him.
Younger. I'm the youngest of my family.
You're younger of the two brothers. You get what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, no. Sorry, I was like, wait, I don't have a younger.
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
that's Sabret. Got it.
Yeah. And I made a mistake there as well, obviously, because he wouldn't be a baby. He'd be about 8.
Yeah, Sabret was only a couple years older than me. And
Yeah.
Maxon's a couple years.
Cool.
That.
So he is sitting there in his uncle's lap, and your uncle's reading you a story as a woman you don't even remember who they are brings food, and you sit there in this just warm, cozy place, learning stories of dragons and how nice they are and how good they are, and how a long time ago a dragon with platinum scales would travel the world making sure people lived happier lives, helping them out, and that one day you would do the same. So you've done that. Next up, modify memory. Let's see how that one goes. Can't remember if that's a wisdom or a charisma. Probably wisdom. I feel like just roll a d20. I'll tell you what to add to it in just a second.
Well, that was a nat 20 on my dice. Nia's dice are pulling through.
Okay, so you're going to remember just how fucked up the other dream was. You don't get the perfect, easy transition that Sloan got.
Yeah.
And you'll probably remember that he sat there licking his lips before making you pass out.
His beak.
Is it just out of curiosity? Is it charisma or wisdom?
Wisdom.
Oh well, then that would I don't know if you go by crit wins all rules, but that would be a -2.
It would still pass, just.
Okay.
But yeah,
Just wanna be honest.
Leave it at those two for now, as you were already asleep and didn't need a sleep spell. So he steps and you won't know this. I'll say it just for the sake of the overarching story of it all. But Tamel is going to be looking very confused when a owl, now wrapped in sort of like this dark, glowing nimbus of light, steps out of your head. And then just
Dad,
sort of
sorry.
shrugs at him and then walks out the door, and he's just like, and he looks at the bottle that he's been drinking next to you, like him, as he sat there watching you. He was like, no more. All right.
Oh,
and we'll take a short break to see what you guys do in the morning. So we're going to be back in about 5 minutes. We'll see you all very, very soon. Everyone wave normally except for Sean, who doesn't know how. See you soon, guys.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sean, Shelby, and Shannon Power Hour. Nova has to step away to get some caffeine.
Triple S Power Hour.
Yeah, the Triple S team.
Hey.
We're meant to.
And they all start with
you didn't get. Yeah, you didn't get that joke the last time
What?
we made it.
No, that was me. Who
Oh no, that
didn't
was
get
Shelby.
joke.
Okay, all right. So next time I'll miss the joke. It'll be a full circle then.
All right, chat. Ask us questions. To answer, you
Shannon.
eating carrots?
Of course, I'm eating fucking carrot.
I couldn't tell if it was a Cheeto or if it was carrots.
I'm gonna try
Got your
and
carrot
finish
pipe?
the rest of my
My
toast.
carrot pipe.
pipe.
Yeah. So Shannon,
Yes, Sean.
how are you feeling about War Daddy right now?
War Daddy's a bitch.
Care to elaborate?
Most serious thing we've ever done, guys.
He's a little bitch.
A little bit.
He's a big bitch.
I was about to say, I think he put you in the corner last week.
Yeah, I know, and Sloan doesn't take kindly to that. But she also was dealing with the consequences of her actions of just being like, yes, I accept, just help Saren, give her brother's his soul back.
So this is a good question. How do you both feel about the events that happened last week? Like, not your characters, you. Like, what do you think of the actions of Auric?
Ooh.
I adore Auric's rise to godhood because it's a very real take on what it would be like if a mortal became a god. All right, mortals are arrogant little fuckers. All right, so it's like Auric is a prime example of what happens when you give a mortal just this much too much power.
And cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is if you give a wizard a spell.
So, I don't know. And you also play a very ancient character very well. You're doing this transition really well, and I think that, War Daddy being like, "Hey, you do this
Let's
and
be
eat the
friends."
leftover soul." Well, no, it's like hey, you do this with me, you can have all the leftovers. Might not use them all. Oh, yours, man. When you ascend, they'll just go right to you. I'll hold them for you. As soon as that happened, I'm like, "Yep, yeah, fucking War Daddy."
Fucking War Daddy.
Fucking War Daddy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, I personally find it very difficult to play wizards just because there's a lot of things that you have to keep track of. And on top of that, I think playing a Dunamancy wizard is incredibly hard because it has to do with shifting time and things like that. And Shannon personally just cannot wrap her brain around alternative timelines and shifting time and the dimensions of how time and space are related. That is a lot for me. So you, sir, are very
Well, I think
smart.
about that in my normal life every day, almost every single day. At every single point of my life, I'm like, well, the multiverse and time. Time is this, that. How do you feel about... how do you guys feel about... I guess, Shelby, how do you feel about Nia coming back the way she's coming back?
Like into the party in general, or just what happened last week?
No, what happened last week? Actually, well, you brought that up. I'm more interested in that, actually. How does I mean, I'm interested in both, but I'm interested to see like where you think her state is right now.
I think Nia is sitting in the middle of a crossroad. Looking at, it's like she's like sat in the middle of a crossroad staring at two signs, and she doesn't know which is the right direction yet because she has a lot of shit that she has a lot of things she wants to do that directly conflict with each other. It's very like head and heart kind of thing, because in her head she knows, okay, now I have to do this, this, and this. Like, I have to go to Jaakelheim, I have to do this thing for the cult to get rid of the cult, I need to kill Hexen because that's what I have to do to be a part of the family. But then there's like a part of her heart that's like, is this a good thing? Is like is bringing Aaron back even fair to him anymore? Is it just better just to let his soul be free? I really want him back around, but he's also been in Sloan's Hellsword for a really long time, so he's probably he's probably not okay. It's like
nobody's okay who goes into the sword.
Yeah.
He's very conflicted on whether or not that what she wants is the right decision or the selfish decision.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think what's interesting also is that the Aaron side, I think, is super interesting because I'm just curious about the abilities. I know the 5 have him in stasis. I'm just curious about their... Oh, I know that they told you need to break him out of the sword, right?
Yeah, no, they have his body, basically, and they keep trying to bring him back, but they're not able to keep him in there. He keeps being ripped back out of his body.
Which is fascinating.
And he's not doing good.
Because Auric wants to free all those souls from the sword.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I'm just not sure if Nia wants Aaron resurrected anymore, or if she just wants him set off to his final resting place that's not in the abyss.
Well, you want to free the souls from the sword because it'll help you become a god faster.
Well, no. Auric has did it as a calculation of making this worth it, is that those souls that he can kind of give a half step. And, maybe freeing them, they'll be like, thank you, new god, who has freed our souls from hell. Oh, you have a plane we can hang out in? We're down. I imagine a consenting soul is much more valuable to a god.
I'm kind of I had this thought because I also do think of time and stuff. I read a lot of sci-fi and things like that to explore these thoughts. I'm kind of wondering at some point if we have Auric, if he eventually becomes a god, all right, we give him the sort of like Dr. Manhattan, gets to create a complete extra universe alternate, timeline to simulate what could happen, and effectively have him be the DM for you guys, but he's the DM also playing as Auric to to run calculations effectively to see what would happen.
That's
so he can go back to the greatest
interesting.
hits of the campaign and just change variables.
That's interesting.
It was very interesting.
You know what would be... Okay, going back in timelines, there was one event in season 1 that was what sparked Nia going on this entire fucking spiral.
the fighting pit, right?
No, the Ooblex.
Oh,
Nia
that's right,
went
the Ooblex.
downhill because she forgot her uncle. Because her uncle was the only like really positive adult figure she had, and it's why she was, despite all the shit she went through at home with her really shitty dad and brother, it's why she was still sweet and warm, and why Nia was still able to be like so naive, is because her uncle did a lot to shelter her and try to help her. And so
we weren't able to restore that memory. We were able to restore some of her other memories, but we weren't able to restore her uncle, right?
We restored the uncle, but that was when Ignis did it. Last season.
Yeah.
Nia went.
Well, you were already pretty far gone after that. By that point.
Yeah. Well, it was after the 5. After I'd already gone, and had I had my uncle's memory, there's no way in fuck Nia would have left that boat with Tamel, because Tamel is so much like her uncle.
True.
In how he is, she would never have left. She would have been like, "Hey, a creepy man broke into my room last night, and he said I don't know, he was your friend."
It'd be interesting just to see how like all like change one thing in everyone's story. You know, was the catalyst for them starting to do the bad things that we
that
do.
was Nia's that was when Nia's spiral started.
Sloane shows up without the sword. She went on the same raid, but she just got push kicked off the cliff very early on. And she's like, I got to get back to my people, but I don't know where they are. They weren't there. Something happened. A bunch of people died. The thing we were there to get's gone. So someone else got the sword.
Barbarian.
And an orc would be like, do you really want to even go back to them, or do you want to come with me?
Well, you can teach me to read.
So before we get too far down this tangent, would you like to finish the session?
Yes, sir. Last thing I'll say about Auric is that he is, if he gets more grasp on time magic, he is going to start trying to peer into different timelines, and also peer into, if he can, this timeline. Like Auric's going to try to like be like, "Can I?"
Not a mass murderer.
I want to go see if I can switch this Nia with another Nia.
I have absolutely no issue with you doing research on time stuff, but you actually have to like do it. Like you have to be in the game, and be like, I want to try fucking with this specific spell because its description is X, and I want to use it for Y. So,
all right, we have 7 days on this boat. Next session, I have an experiment already.
I mean, shit, you're waking up in the morning after having your friend go nibble on some dreams, and
good point.
He's gonna have just some of his feathers will be slightly like he'll have 2 black feathers from the nightmares he's taken, and he will be taking those home with him whenever you dismiss him.
Interesting.
So yes, you all welcome back to Roll for Damage.
Welcome back from the mini show, the Sean, Shelby, and Shannon 10-minute hour. 10-minute power 10 minutes.
Power hour. I love that.
Power hour.
Half hour power hour.
The Sean, Shannon, Shelby shenanigans. All right, there you go.
Perfect.
So
Shenanigans. That used to be my Instagram handle.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, back to the plot. You all wake up. It is pretty late in the afternoon. You probably got 2-3 hours of sunlight left. You all like even you, Auric, who don't usually need sleep, was like, I'm a trance. I'm really tired and don't remember much. You might have actually fallen asleep a little bit because, again, I think we've said you can't be unwillingly put to sleep. And I know there's a bunch of lore about elves not sleeping, but I feel like if you're like, I am so exhausted, I am willingly just going to let my everything turn off for an hour or 2. You can do it to get that relaxation.
Oh, I'm all about that.
I like to think it's more elven choice than an actual like elves don't sleep. Personally, I like that take better.
So, you all kind of wake up within about 20-30 minutes of each other, and that's mostly because a bell is being rung. Last call for food for the crew at this time.
Oh no!
Yeah, I thought you might go around for that. But you probably wake up feeling pretty good, Sloane. you
I got
feel...
myself back up to 170 hit points.
Excuse me? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
need to-
D12s times many. Yeah, that makes sense.
Does True Resurrection restore me to full hit points?
I believe so. Or close enough to.
Lucky ducky.
Lucky ducky, no.
Um,
It wasn't worth
if you
having 1,000
need
people killed for me.
if you need hit points as well, Auric, you can roll some out.
I already did because
Okay.
I was down to like 24 health.
Good job. So, the crew are gathering. There's like 2 or 3 people that didn't get food. Yako is looking like some bardic king lounging on a throne at the end of the thing, just like a wine glass in his hand. He is fucked though. There's like 3 empty bottles next to him, and he's been drinking solidly for the last few hours.
Not that different for him.
Lost his ship and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Day drinking. We met Yako day drinking. So I'm
This
not
is a different
That's
type.
true.
There's day drinking because you feel like having a drink during the day, and there's the day drinking because you're depressed.
I'm just
Very
saying,
different things.
This is not out of Yako's wheelhouse.
So you walk in, and he just sort of like looks at you, and then finishes off the glass he's got, and goes searching behind him for another. Holds up a bottle. Gets another one. Opens it up. Pours. And keeps going. The crew are staying very far away from him. Like it's like a 20-seater long thing in the. So you go into where his areas, and there's like a hallway that goes to where there's a big like mess area, and then there's the rooms on the other side. This mess area has just like a long table, because he wants comfort. That's his whole shtick. So he's at the end in the throne. They're at the other end, almost all seated around that little bit, just kind of throwing wary glances up at him. And then when you guys walk in, who wants to get up first? You can roll initiative to see who walks in first, or you can say you met up and walk in together. I don't mind which one.
Absolutely not going to be Nia walking in first. Are you serious? Could be clinging
rolled
to
a
Dad
7.
for a minute.
Okay.
Auric doesn't go. He sends Gladstone to get him some toast.
Okay. So as you're like half walking, half running to get food, Sloane, Gladstone comes and just like lands on your shoulder. And you go running in. Are you gonna be subtle about this, or do you like slam the door open?
No, Sloan has manners. Now.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Actually, retcon that a little bit. He sends Gladstone just to get his plate set up, and then he will arrive shortly after.
Okay.
So I'll go in, and I'll pile my plate with whatever's left, and then I will sit down and start eating. And then when I see Gladstone maybe setting his stuff up across from me, I'm gonna move down. So I don't want to sit across from work.
Okay. Gladstone sees this and just in a very weird way, just you see the outer like gets up on the table, puts his head down, and you see he pushes the plate along towards like opposite you.
I don't want to sit near him. I slide back.
He sort of like stamps his feet and scratches the table.
I don't want to sit next to him.
He gets his wing out and he just like points at you and then points back to the seat and then just stares for a minute.
No. I'd like to eat by myself this morning.
He points towards the
With an
door
owl.
with his wing
Are you telling me to leave?
He just sort of shakes his head, then like points again. All right. As you look at the door, he just comes across and like grabs stuff from your plate. And it's like almost the last of the food as well, and puts it over on Oryx's side. It's a bit too far for you to reach.
Then I lunge over the table.
So
Most epic of
Fucking owl's
battles.
taking my breakfast.
Roll initiative.
Epic of battles.
It's an
Phone
owl.
versus an owl.
Yako stands up and just like slams a fist on the table loud enough to like the whole room sort of like in silence. Is there going to be a problem here at all?
This owl took my food.
Shut up, sit down.
You shut up and stop drinking.
Going to make me a little girl.
There is nothing little about me.
Hmm.
I am a good 2 feet taller than you.
Yeah, mind and spirit say different. And he sits down in his chair and picks up a glass, puts his feet on the table.
Swipe for my food.
Yako stands up and throws a knife.
At me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I try and catch it? Throw it back?
I don't think you were even looking because you were like, food! But as you go to lean forward, the knife grabs your shirt and just slams the chair behind you, so you're kind of like,
Ow.
you're stuck there. It's resting against your skin, it hasn't cut you, but you're like sort of nailed to your chair right now.
I pout.
He reaches down to the floor, just puts a heavy crossbow on the table, pointed in your direction, and then keeps drinking.
I get up and take my plate and walk out.
You're nailed to the chair, currently.
Well, I take the knife out and then
so-
I get up and walk out.
So
with
as
my
you
plate of
do,
food.
as you do this, he just again, whoosh, the other one's now arms kind of stuck up here.
I just want to.
This
take
time it's a
my
crossbow bolt,
breakfast.
so it's like stuck a good 3 inches out the back of your chair as well. It's gonna be very hard now to.
Unless you want to rip your clothes.
And then he just sort of looks at you. Shh.
I'm strong. I should be able to get out of this.
You can if you want, but do you really want to piss him off some more?
I want to leave.
Okay, so you can leave in a second if you really want to, but right now he's just like, shh.
I'd like to rage and then leave.
Okay. So you rage. Is there any yelling that goes along with this?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine I'd reach up with my other hand and just yell as I pull out the crossbow bolt and move the knife and just like slam my hands on either side of my plate, pick it up and hold it close, and GTFO.
All right, we're going to do an initiative roll-off to see
Jesus Christ.
who gets the first action here, as he was prepared to do one more thing. But I'll let you do it, because I know you have the advanced initiative thing.
I do. That's a 4, and that's an 8, so 17.
Okay. So, he rolled pretty good. Rolled 15 plus 6, 21. He's going to fire one more crossbow bolt. And as you reach up to grab it, he then pins the other out. So you're pretty much just stuck like this right now.
Just like this. Yep.
And he's like, "So please don't make me reload. I can't be bothered. Will you sit and eat and be good if I let you go. Stay there. Eat your food.
That's all I wanted to do in the first place.
Well, I was trying to be friendly. Wanted to eat with you, and you just kept...
No, he didn't want to eat with me. Auric is coming, and I don't want to sit with Auric.
Why not?
Because he's a jerk.
You're making my lunch very difficult. You're a jerk.
Let me go, Jaako, please. I want to leave and go eat by myself.
I will throw a fancy dinner tonight. You will have to attend and sit and talk with everyone because we have planning without Sarah.
I will only attend if you stop drinking.
At what time? I won't drink tonight. How about that?
That means you can keep drinking right up until dinner and you won't have
It
changed all. Let me go,
does.
please.
And he sort of walks up and just takes a knife and just cuts the bolts, as it'll be easier than pulling them out through the wood.
I pick up my plate and leave.
As you leave, as the door opens, like you open it, and Ulrich is standing with his hand out, reaching for the door handle.
Of course he is.
She doesn't want to talk to you, wizard. She's being a jerk. Says you're a jerk. Stole my food. Ruined my lunch.
Excuse me.
By all means.
I kind of like, as I go by, I kind of do the really petty little shoulder thing.
Oh
Your
man.
strength, that might be enough to fucking kill him. Jesus.
Right. If Auric, if any piece of Auric was actually still left in him, there would be the immovable objects I would cast.
I kind of find it funny that you can, as a reaction, just like stop her in time as she tries to do it.
I know. I can. I really can.
Slow just wants to eat. Eat in peace.
Auric does not stop you. He does not freeze you in time. He does not reverse your timeline. He does not do anything. He just is.
I stomp down the hallway. Slam the door. My door. And then cry. He's a bully! Yaako's a bully!
I feel like this is interesting coming from Sloane, but sure. Who just beats people into submission on the regular.
Okay.
Anyways.
No. There's usually a reason.
There was a reason right there, it's just not a good one.
Just saying, there was no reason to kill the man in the fighting pit. Just saying.
Look, okay, before every single pot starts calling kettles black here because you're all as bad as each other.
Work's not mad at anyone.
I'm too traumatized to be mad.
So, as you sit down, I'm just gonna add to your little bit of roleplay here. Sean/Auric. Jaako walks up. He's got like a little platter, like with a silver thing. I got something for you. I thought you'd like it. It's just a little baby. Carrots, and puts it down. And he's got a plate of baby carrots. Like, it's hard to get in the middle of nowhere.
Thank you, Jaako. A favorite of mine. Yes. These will go great with this toast.
That's all you want?
I don't need much. I only need nutrients. Truthfully, if I could just eat gray slurry that gave me all the nutrients I needed for the day, I would prefer that.
Right.
We can get you gruel.
Well, I'd prefer it to be tasteless, not disgusting.
We have salt.
That is fair. That is actually a fair assessment of the potential of gruel. But these carrots are lovely.
Look, not at my best, obviously, but we've all lost. My life was pretty good until you guys came along, and I know I've no real need to keep you aboard and keep having things go worse, but I really liked Sarah. She was nice, and she liked you fuckers, so she's not here, and good God, we don't need the damaged child or the big and tall being in charge of anything. You might be a bit of a, what do they keep calling you, an asshole, a jerk, whatever, but
Of varying sorts.
yes, I don't really see it myself, but you are smart. So, do you think you could try to lead these people to where they need to go? They lack... I'm not fucking going with you. I'm going to stay here and finish off my wine and then whiskey cellar. But
I believe before we embarked, I established myself as a leading member. Perhaps not a leader in the sense of what most mortals feel are inspiring, charismatic manipulators, but just a guiding. I much prefer to think of myself as a compass.
can you fake it till you make it with the emotions? Because really, that's the thing that's got them all mad. You tell the truth and they don't like it. So just, you know,
Well,
pretend
I
to care just a little
do
bit.
remember what some of it felt like. I can't exactly relate to those memories, but I suppose simulacrum are, by definition, almost as good.
Yep. He's like, he just stared out the window for a minute and he's just come back to conversation. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I can't promise I won't forget. But I'll keep my words shorter and refrain from being as honest as I've been.
Just look, with your weird bird, me, other people, doesn't matter. But you have to keep them on task, and there's
It's
some
funny,
crazy
I gave
shit.
the exact same lecture to a war god yesterday.
So you take your advice.
I suppose this is a moment of enlightenment. Thank you, Yako.
Very well. Do you want some wine?
Sure. I'll take a little bit.
Okay, and he just gives you a whole bottle. This is for you.
Would
Make sure you drink it all in one place.
Cheers.
And he just sort of like holds up. He goes to reach for the glass that he had. And he just grabs the bottle. Cheers, and he has a few drinks. He's I don't know if you would care enough to see that he's mostly just sad at this point.
I think Oric would notice. It's a matter of if he cares or not is a different.
Yeah.
I think he would notice.
But he sort of like looks out the window, and you can see in the distance is a small landmass that's you're retreating from. You're pulling away from it. His brows furrow. He's like, "You going to need to be careful. We stopped there, and they're all dead. All of them. There was a big hole in the floor, and shovels, and think someone had dug something out.
Believe the word you're looking for is crater.
No. Well, crater implies impact. Wasn't
That's true.
like
true.
that. It was dug up.
Dug.
It's just there's a lot going on, and Saren's not here to help anymore. And you need to keep your mind on the task and keep everyone active and moving. And while you're on a boat, my boat, and we are going towards
to Jaakelheim.
Jaakelheim. Yes. I don't think they are particularly on task. They're not going to be. Everyone's fractured.
Die. Jesus, give me a day.
Well, Jaakko, yes, they have all experienced extraordinary, and as you have, trauma. But I assure you, I intend for us to efficiently go to Jaakelheim and efficiently accomplish our tasks there. They have no desire to stay past our welcome. At least on this part of the journey. There are other things in Jaakelheim we need, but currently there's one thing we need.
When
What is more pressing?
drop you off, I am going to be gone for a month. I'm going to request that they return the soul to my ship. And if they don't, well, I have a lot of weapons. I'm getting the soul of my ship back. You wouldn't be okay to be, once your job here is done, be sort of part of my war party, would you? I'd hire you all on as permanent members of the crew.
Well, I do suppose we owe you quite a bit. And perhaps the stories are not enough anymore.
Well, I was going to pay you. Can give gold to the young and tall, and I can give you almost unlimited amounts of magical supplies.
I think that some sort of arrangement can be arranged. Is this war party? Are you planning on? Is this the purpose of this war party simply because you'll become a outlaw upon
Yes,
retrieving that soul back?
I'm probably going to destroy a town.
Oh, well, you would fit in with us.
I have heard of your works, yes. And he just sort of stops me and said, "Should I say sorry to Sloane? I did throw a knife at her and shoot at her with a crossbow."
Well, I would recommend. I've not been very good at apologizing to Sloane lately, but that is, I think, simply because of some projection of anger from her. So her situation and the soulless aspect to me. But I suppose if you apologize, she'd be much more amenable to it. Though I would say refraining from the drink for a little while would ameliorate that situation. Even if it's just for one night.
Do you think that maybe you're just out of practice saying sorry? Because I've never heard you say those words before.
Well, you've not spent every moment with me over the last year. We've spent a lot of time together, but we've also spent a lot of time apart. I
keep my eye on you, my handsome wizard friend.
Well, you recall I have apologized on several instances. I apologized to the party when I destroyed a forest.
But
I apologized.
Did you say sorry, or did you just explain what happened? Because there is a difference. And you need to sort of recognize that. Sometimes you say sorry and just shut up and let the other person speak and not say sorry. And then keep talking and expect them to understand your side of things. Because it's not about you, Auric, okay?
Well, I think that most people presume I have a lot more to apologize for than I actually do. There are moments where I admit apology in the social dynamics would be required.
See, this is that explaining thing. Just look.
I'm not apologizing to you right now.
Let's just practice. My friend. If I was Sloane and you had to say sorry for things you've done, what would you say?
I would say I am sorry for my transgressions.
Let me channel Sloane. And he just
and
sort of
people
crosses arms
presume
and
because
like,
I'm a
pouts.
wizard that I have more to apologize for than I actually do. I've been quite helpful to this party over the last year.
Okay, see, that's too much. You just sorry, and transgression is such a wide thing. Generally, people want this. What exactly are you sorry for? Start again, from the top, Auric.
I suppose in my analysis that I would apologize for attempting to keep her from murdering Saren's brother. That was the first moment I think I saw some levels of distrust. And I would apologize for murdering people.
He stands up and he grabs your plate and he like just takes your hand and walks you towards where Nia is.
Where are we going?
Am I?
Where are we going?
I'd like to know.
You're actually still in his rooms recovering. He's like he's sleeping in like a little bunk while you have had his room to recover.
Do you pass by my room on the way there? Or is it in the opposite direction?
No, we wouldn't pass by your room, but it's like in the area. You'd hear him and Auric talking a little bit. And well, I imagine it's where are you taking him?
Unhand me, you drunk.
Sloane is crying, so if anybody, like, she's not like wailing, but like
you rolled a natural 1. Yaako doesn't hear it. What about you?
I'm not trying to hide it, but I'm not like scream sobbing.
I had a natural 20.
Excellent.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd hear me.
So, do you stop? Do you point it out, or do you just go where Yaako's taking you?
Auric would not stop.
Okay. So, Nia, you're kind of awake. Had a weird dream last night. Gladstone is on Auric's shoulder as Auric walks in. And he's like, I can't hear you, sorry. What was that?
Could I have been like telling to Mel like the story my uncle was telling me? Like trying to only say the nice part of the dream.
Yeah, it'll be like, you know, with any dream, it's a bit fuzzy. Like, you just wake up feeling like, good, but like you don't quite remember the whole story. But yeah, sure.
No, it's just like I had first nice dream I've had. I dreamed about my uncle and my brother, and it was nice. And
All right.
seems maybe a little better. A little
That
okay.
point,
And then Auric walks in, and she's like,
Yako
well
just
done.
flies over the. I don't know what's happening, if it's important, but sorry, this is more. We're teaching Auric to say sorry.
Yako is very inebriated.
Not enough. Sit down, Auric. Sit.
I'll sit down if I want to.
Have a soul?
So
Is that
look.
even possible?
No, well, I've heard that you might think Auric's being a bit troublesome. Yeah.
I mean, I'm worried about him. I'm worried about the whole lack of soul thing. Auric hasn't done anything to me.
Well, just for the moment, pretend you are Sloane.
I have work to do, Yako.
I could give you more time for work. We just take a scenic route to where we... Say sorry to Pseudo Sloane.
He just looks at Tamel like really uncomfortably.
For what, specifically?
It's not a good way to start an apology. You had it right the first time. Start with I'm sorry, not for what.
And it's easier to simulate this if I know what I am apologizing for.
Can you know what happened yesterday?
With what?
The whole
The
going and slaughtering
island
the village
murder.
to bring her back
No,
there?
no, you don't.
Cool.
Nia, what transgressions have I done against Sloane?
Sloane, I don't know. You've been kind of dismissive of all of her feelings lately, and she's just been like, she wanted you to teach her to read, and you said it was a pointless thing. She got really upset by that.
Yes, and literally yesterday, I told her to keep the letter from Saren because it would be good for her studies.
Not an apology.
That might have been too subtle for you, for her.
And he's like, then, all right, stop time. Again, just, I'm sorry that I dismissed your learning to read, and that you just stop.
I thought that
no.
with you people...
Yes, with me it's fine, but she, not Sloane.
When your life is so fleeting and short, I thought actions spoke louder than words.
Fuck, I'm going to get no if I keep drinking. I'll be right back. You keep practicing, and he just walks away for a minute.
Oh my God.
Can you go practice on someone else?
And as he opens the door, can I get you to roll a perception check, please, Nia?
Sure. 20.
You're very broken at the moment. I think the noise gate, because I had told you to be a little bit quieter before the session started. It's just a little bit hard now to catch things.
Hold
Yeah,
on, I
after the
gotta
break,
go-
it got a little quieter.
Yeah,
Hold on, I gotta go fucking do a thing.
Sounds better now.
yeah. I think it's just a projection thing.
I did nothing. Not
Okay.
even talking any louder than I was.
It's weird.
Yeah, it just yeah. Anyways, as the door
Cool.
opens and then closes again, you just hear the sound of Sloane crying down the hallway.
I look at Tamel, look at Auric, slide my butt out of the bed, and I walk towards Sloane's room. Because if anybody's gonna fucking check up on our crying barbarian, it's gonna be me, I guess.
Tamel's like, wait, you're not leaving me here
You
with.
don't hear her? Nia's, Sloane's crying.
And just as you walk out the door, Tamel just like looks to Auric, he's like, so how's your day?
We didn't really talk that much, I think, in the previous dynamics.
I'ma go.
I do have some runes You like runes, right?
Yeah. Runes are cool. I like.
Runes are cool.
The two awkward dads talk. I love this.
I've got Nia's arm taken apart in my room, and there are some cool runes on it. If you want to come look at those with me.
Should we check on whatever happened out there first? No, maybe.
I'm personally trying to evade this drama.
You sort of see him wince, and he's like, "Ah, God, look, I didn't want to be any part of that previous conversation, but it does seem to me that they were getting you to say sorry about something, and evading the situation ain't gonna help. And if she's crying down the hall, maybe now's a good time."
Well, Yako was attempting to get me to feign feelings of regret. I can logically regret the way I've spoken to Sloane because of the ways that it has gotten us into this predicament that is wasting time. But I imagine that an apology for those of you who are anointed with self.
You got kids, right?
Yes.
Do you... My throat... There we go. Just no sound came out the first time. Surely at times you've had to say sorry for something that you had to do, but they still got upset. Part of being a parent, they try to cross the road and almost get run down by a carriage, and you pull them back, and they're like, "Ah, that hurt," and you're like, "Well, I'm sorry, but you almost died."
Yes, but there is, again, I don't believe any of you understand. I can recall and understand.
It's not about
regret of harm.
It's not about... Let's get this done before Yako gets back. He's fucked up. But look, it's not about you. It's not about your emotions. It's about her being upset. Just had her feelings.
That sounds disrespectful.
The thing is, right now you can't feel. But if you can, one day you say sorry properly. Right now, just like learning, baby steps. Smart goals.
I hated when the university professors would bring up smart goals.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, just he's upset about something. Maybe start with the reading thing. Go from there. Sorry the way you spoke.
I don't believe this is going to go nearly as well as any of you think. Following the
gives a fuck, man.
Commands of a wasted elf. I will go along with this. But I don't believe you understand the effects.
Now, no matter
going to
just say it's I've been around Yako enough to understand what he was talking about. Just say you're sorry. She's gonna go crazy because she's allowed to. She deserves to. You've been an asshole, but say sorry. Take your lumps, and then we'll go look at the pretty runes. Okay?
Well, you don't need to begin speaking to me that way.
I kind of feel
pretty
like I do.
Runes. I'm not going to show you the runes now.
They are pretty. What are you talking about? They're
okay.
Geometrically perfect. I don't. And he puts an arm around your shoulder.
They are geometrically perfect. That is one of the things I like about them too.
Yeah, I know they're cool, right? And he like takes you out the hallway.
Their geometric perfection is an echo, a rhyme of the universe. Yes.
And he opens Sloane's door.
You got me out of the room.
Wait,
he opens Sloane's door as you're like, oh shit. But what we'll do is we'll go to, because we haven't much time, so you've got a couple minutes to go through what Nia and Sloan were talking about as they
I
walk
wanted
in.
to talk to Sloan for alone for just a second, man.
Yeah, go for it. That's what I said. You got a couple
Okay.
minutes. Go.
Yeah, Nia knocks on your door. Sloan, I don't know if you open, but
I don't, but it's not locked.
she'll unlock. She'll open it.
Yeah.
Sloan. Hey.
I'm sorry, am I being too loud?
She's gonna step in and close the door. And are you like sitting on your bed?
Yeah.
She's
With the
gonna come.
discarded plate of food on the side.
Aw. She is going to like move the plate so she doesn't sit on it and sit next to you.
I'm
No,
sorry, I didn't mean to disturb your
No.
resting.
You did. You sounded upset. You
I
look
am
upset. What happened?
I don't know how much longer I can put up with my best friend being the way that he is. I don't like wanting to avoid him, but I don't want to be around him. I don't like how that feels.
Nia's going to reach over and hold your hand.
I'll hold yours with both of mine.
I know you've probably heard this before, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him because he has been really mean. But he's also not whole. He can't feel that he's being mean. And that's a really sad way to live, actually. He can't... You love Auric, and that's why you're so sad that he's being this way, but he physically can't feel that.
It just makes me even sadder.
Because I think he is being really mean right now. And that's a lot coming from me, I know. Because I was really mean to you too.
I wasn't exactly kind to you either.
But I know it hurts, and it's not an excuse for how he's been. But the more it hurts, the more you should want to get your best friend back. And you can't do that if you're not around him. He needs you. It hurts. But he does need you, even if he doesn't know it.
And then the door swings open and you hear, "Oh shit, you got me out of the room." And Auric and Tamel are standing there. Tamel sort of like goes from like kind of smiling, looking at you really awkwardly. "You got this, buddy." And he just kind of pushes you in the room.
Thanks, Dad. Mella's party dad confirmed.
Hello.
What do you want?
This is not going to be how either of us want it to be. I have come to apologize. Not for
You feel a
my
little
lack.
flick on your back, like, shorter. Just to the point.
Sloan. And you see he pauses for a moment, and you can see the from his stone eye, with cut up face that I keep forgetting that I have. He just kind of pulls his hand up to the eye and then pulls not the eye out, but pulls out some lights, dancing lights, the cantrip, but they are split almost infinitely, as opposed to just the 3 lights that typically float. They split to a projection that you've seen before from Auric, which is what he's projected the map of time to you in the way things move around. I may not be able to feel sorrow or the type of pain that you're feeling, but I can remember, and you should remember, who I was, everyone who I have ever been. And my mistake, truly, was not respecting you properly. If there's anything I should be apologizing for, it is that I have not respected you, or you as well, Nia, or the others before. But I don't think I ever really gave... It's beside the point. But I cannot apologize for my condition. I can apologize for what I can understand. And whatever that means in action, I believe is more respectful to you, as though I don't relate to them, I can see the memories.
You get a poke in the back, it's like, you should probably start wrapping this up real soon. You should remember short.
I'm giving an authentic apology to Mel. I'm not giving the fake apology that Jaako wanted me to give. No, I'm earnest. Though I don't relate to all my memories properly because of what I am missing, what I say right now is earnest. It was short-sighted of me not to respect you and what I meant. What I was meant, and what value that has in our journeys forward. And as you look at these spindles, webs of time, somewhere on there, you will have me back, or I will be back. I will be back.
Do you promise?
I guarantee it.
Gonna squeeze Sloane's hand a bit.
From up the stairs coming down this, you hear, Auric, Auric, and you guess the room's like, I just took my last panacea so I could get here sober, and now I see there's no fucking reason. He just walks away.
Well, you can give your apology. Force me to do apologizing, I'll force you to do apologizing. But just before that though, like he'll do one kind of, he'll, and maybe this is the one part of him where he's like, I will harness everything I possibly can from my memories of who I was. It is not how I feel, but this is what I can do. And he'll just sort of expand out the lights so that they kind of like burst into the whole room and then shrink back down, kind of like he used to do with Sloane, where he would just do feats of magic to entertain her. He would give her a smile, the first smile he's given, so it's probably a little awkward at first. So it's a little like... But then, like, it's almost like he's just shaking the dust off, and it quickly, at least for that moment, there's what appears, maybe, and Sloane would not see through it potentially, but appears to be a genuine smile and a wink. And he'll stand up and keep this smile on his face and say, Sloane, I still remember where we left off. So if you would like, beginning tomorrow, we can resume your reading lessons.
Do you mean that? Really?
Of course. Of course. 6 a.m. sharp. Bring pencils, sharpened, 4 of them, and 10 pieces of parchment.
I get up and give him a hug.
It's like when she hugs him, like the mask slips when she's not looking at him anymore, and the face almost deadens for anyone looking at him.
Make a
Then-
charisma save.
Furrowing.
Okay. Oh boy.
Nia sees this, just gonna furrow her brows at you.
Now hold up, we're gonna just see something here.
Charisma saving throw? That is not that great. It's an 8.
What was the natural roll of it?
6.
Okay. This will be the last roll of the session, so if you do want to use anything like a hero point to reroll it, now is the time.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll use a hero point. Let me use a different dice, because I think I've extracted all the d20s from that one. Or natural 20s. This dice has been great lately.
Nat 1.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have
She
said
would
that.
not have said that.
This is payback for last week.
Okay, 17.
17.
Damn it.
Echoing. Like it did yesterday. You hear, as you give her that hug, you just hear that screaming through the cosmos of your soul trying to reach out to you. Trying to tell you to do the right thing. Crying at what it's lost. Trying to tell you to remember your daughter. So the mask slips for just a second, and then you're hit with all of that. Just the shadow of all the emotion, the echo of it.
Nia, while you were watching him and the mask slips for a second, it would be, instead of being replaced with a fully dead face for a moment, there's like a second of that, like a millisecond of that. And then it's followed by a face that looks like someone horrified. Like he looking at the worst scene of their lives, like someone watching an accident happen in front of them. Just tight brow and deep welled eyes before I'm assuming that vanishes just as fast as it came.
There was something you did there, like a very sharp intake of breath, which I can imagine, like you're like, and then
And well, as soon as I heard that, I would have dropped the hug.
and it's gone. By the time the hug is released, it's gone. And then Yanko's like, sorry, Sloane, for being a drunken idiot. I kind of wish I still was one, but this guy made me get my cure-all, wasting hours of drinking. But since that's the sort of apology that I told him not to give, I'm sorry for being a drunken idiot and insulting you and trying to force you to sit with someone you didn't want to. I thought it would be good if you talked, but apparently this happened anyway.
Thank you, Yako.
Still dinner if you want it. I'll have clothes in your sizes that I picked up at a port while I was out and about. Suit for you, dress for you. Nia wasn't sure if you wanted a suit or a dress, so I have one of each.
Thanks. Thank you.
going to go start on the whiskey. And he just walks out. And I think we'll end the session there with you three in a slightly better spot than you were at the start of the session. We're never making it to Jaakelheim.
Hey, it's been a day. We made it a day.
I'm okay with all the role play. All right, fucking let us be our characters. Let us repair our 2 sessions of trauma, or 2 seasons of trauma. Sorry.
Okay, so let's do a quick round of favorite moments of goodbyes. Choose a single favorite moment, just because it is late, and then tell us who you are. And we'll start with the teary one. Tell us about yourself, Shannon.
That's me. That's
tell
me.
us your favorite moment.
I really liked a lot of it, but Sean, I really liked how Auric apologized and explained it, but he wasn't explaining to be condescending. I could tell the difference between his apologizing just to get people off his back and a genuine soulless apology. So that was really well done. I like that a lot.
I want to throw something in there on this because Tamel, who doesn't know you very well, thought you were just doing the get people off their back, which is why he was like, stop, and you're like, shut up, Tamel. So that was really good. So I want to just give a +1 to Shannon's comment there. Tell us about yourself, Shannon.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. I am Shannon. I am the community manager and a cast member of Paradise Productions. Do a lot of shit over there. Next thing will be our 2nd episode of our Strixhaven show, Sunday afternoon. And then the Power Hour, if we have stamina left after the game. We'll see. Where Sean and I we'll probably talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about last week's episode of Advantage in Paradise, which is our flagship show on Monday nights. And yeah, we'd love to have you join us in Paradise, and I've been Sloan this evening / morning.
You remembered everything.
Mm-hmm. Very proud. I'm pretty sure the entire cast wanted to give you a hug when you started going red face, teary eyed. I was like, "Oh, Shannon."
I wasn't sure I was gonna do it, but I put on Streets of Whiterun on repeat. It does it that's my crying song.
Okay, good to know. Okay, so next up we'll go with Shelby.
My favorite moment was actually a moment from you, Kyle, because I really like how you're doing this, how you're portraying Yako right now. He's gone through, we've all gone through a lot of shit, but Yako kind of lost all of his stability, somebody he was getting kind of close to, all because of these 3 idiots that he let on the boat 6 months ago. And we've had some peeks into how terrifying Yako can be, back in Duskfall when he was sleeping and nobody comes near Yako and they're all whispering around him because they know not to wake him up when he's like that. It was really interesting getting to peek into why he has that reputation, because I don't know, I realized just how little we know about this man actually. We know that he got some privilege because he was a protector of some ruler. We know that he had a magic boat and that he had a lot of privileges because he carried a heavy name. So it was really cool seeing the, why he did that. Just casually fling the knife, pin somebody to the precision that takes is pretty impressive. So that was really cool. Seeing
very
that
drunk
little glimpse.
as well.
Wow, very drunk too. Yeah.
So you can imagine the first time he
was
did it,
actually
the first
aiming for
person
her
pissed
head.
him off. Yeah. He might have actually hit a few people earlier. And he's like, shit, I just can't hit Sloan for some reason.
I'm just saying that was really well done.
Thank you.
And I've been Shelby. I've been Nia. I've been problematic as usual. Nia can't do anything right. She tries, but
Hey, you comforted Sloane. You did that right.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah.
I also murdered your entire family. So
I murdered yours.
Yeah, but that was like 7 traumas ago.
I love that. And I murdered yours. Yeah, fair.
Sean.
My favorite moment was I don't know what that was.
Your favorite moment. Tell us about your favorite moment.
My favorite moment was.
I don't know if it's like Scottish plus something weird. It's there.
It's like 7 accents
in one.
It's just it's just the King's Cup of DMing.
Charms, guys. What it is.
My favorite moment was actually Nia comforting Sloane. I really liked the way Nia did it. I thought it was I just thought it was really good. Generally speaking, I'm really enjoying Nia and Sloane becoming friends, like real, actual friends. It's been really interesting to watch, considering for such a long time they were just so at each other's throats. To see, especially right now, for Nia to be the only support that Sloane has, truly, has been very interesting. And I think that this was kind of a nice little like peak in that relationship where, you explained it in a way Sloane could relate to and understand, and you gave her a call to action at the end to fight for her friend. It was really well done. In character-wise, as well as just good job as intervening on a crisis situation.
Almost like that's half of my day job.
yeah, and which is really interesting, especially because Nia is currently also going through a crisis. I'm Sean, though.
The type of person that she deals with her trauma by helping other people through theirs.
Yeah,
I feel like
definitely
she's somebody who, before all this bullshit happened, she tried to help people in order to forget her all her
exactly shit. I will not confront my issues because I'd rather fix other people's.
Yeah, not a healthy way to deal with it, but
no, definitely not. But probably one of the better ones, at least for the outcomes. But I'm Sean.
Murdering villages.
That's true. I'm Sean, and I have completed my second audition for Auric Solaris.
Just down to you, one other person.
Callback. Oof, that guy. I hate that guy. He steals all my parts. So we'll find out next week if I get the role of Auric Solaris. Timey-wimey boy, bad dad, bad friend, getting better. And I am the creative director of Paradise Productions, as well as the DM for our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise, and the DM for our new short series, The Arcane Quandaries of Strixhaven, that Shannon mentioned, which will be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday for episode 2. And yeah, I am having a good time here. I hope you are as well. And smash that like button, subscribe, comment below.
Okay.
Beat the algorithm.
His transitions are better on the Power Hour, I promise.
These transitions are priceless.
That's
you know that.
I'm over. So, my favorite moments. I'm going to go with a couple. I liked, in general, how Sloane showed she was dealing with things tonight. The I just want to leave, was big of her, because she could have been all right, I'm fucking sick of this, and kill her now. Yeah. So, there was a lot of really good things there, and I'm sorry if I pushed that a bit far, but I did want to see if Sloane would snap or would just be like, I'm just trying to leave, which shows some definite growth with Sloane, which is excellent.
Honestly, that didn't even cross my mind.
Okay, cool.
To start a fight. That's cool.
Then yeah, just sort of like seeing you, Itiri, having, you know, Nia come in and talk to you, and then Sean come in and say sorry. All that, I liked watching your reactions and your actions through the episode about how they went. So you did really well. Good job.
Thanks.
Sean, I liked how well you just played off the awkward conversation between Timel and Auric. He's like,
that was so good.
Hi, I don't know much about you. We haven't talked. So runes are cool, right? Yeah, like, runes are cool. It was
The awkward dad talk was glorious.
Yeah, right.
That was great.
Two dads
Like,
at
this
a
is like
barbecue.
two dads talking about a grill. Yeah, exactly.
You're one of my favorite people to roleplay with, because every time I have an NPC, I can just kind of be like, I'll just throw it at Sean and we're just gonna riff for like 5 minutes, and then we go. And it's just like,
You guys
it's just
are very good at that. It's so
just like
fun
the
to
logic
watch.
people, like, you know. Just, that was really fun. So this was just that again. So I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for that whole moment. It was a good time. Right. So yeah, my name's Nova. I am currently running the channel and working full time and trying to organize a wedding in like 3 weeks. So it's been very full on, and that's why. And on top of that, I had to get a new PC, so we haven't got Adobe set up, so there's no video editing happening at the moment. I'm just getting things out slowly. In the next couple weeks, all the videos start going back up. Blog posts will start again. Twitter won't be so freaking barren. I just need to get all my ducks in a row, and it's taking a bit more time than I thought it would. So this has been Roll for Damage, the scales above. We hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, we'll see you next time. I'm going to find someone to raid, and then you can wave goodbye. And not a second
Insomnia
before.
Night RPG is on right now. Magi RPG is on right now.
So dumb sometimes. I have 3 monitors, but 2 PCs, and it used to just be 1 PC, so I'm trying to drag the mouse icon to that one. It's not going. I'm like, come on. Why is
Long
it so
Lost
difficult?
Lore is also live right now, and they're all playing D&D.
Okay, let's. Well, just choose one of them.
Let's go with Insomnia Night RPG.
All right, cool. We're not gonna run an ad tonight. I've decided we're just gonna go straight.
It's also their first session, so
Insomnia
an exciting
Night
night,
RPG.
as in
Yep, I got it.
yeah.
All right.
Good.
Woo!
Say goodbye, Wave Crazy.
Thanks for watching. Oh god.
Now,
I like your crazy. It's just jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. All right. See you later, guys. Bye bye.